Hey, everybody. It's me, Tuniscia O, and welcome to Tea with Tuniscia O. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about us always focusing on the lack in our life. It's time for us to forgive the lack in our life. What do I mean? I mean us focusing on the lack of good health, the lack of finances, the lack of relationships we have, the lack of friends we may have at work, the lack of our ability to get a promotion on our job, the lack of our relationship with our husbands, the lack of how our children disrespect us. So often when I'm talking to people, they are so good at talking about the lack in their lives that when I actually pause to say, so what do you want? You know what they usually say? I don't know. But they know what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want. And many times we don't celebrate how beautiful our bodies really are until we're sick. We have a cold or we have a backache or a leg cramp. You know, there was a time when I didn't even love looking in the mirror. I was like, oh my gosh. And I stopped buying clothes because I was like, I'm not going to buy any larger sizes. I'm just going to stay the size I am. And if I can't stuff myself into the clothes that I have, I'm just not going to wear them, or buy anything else. And my husband was like, Tuniscia, you're being ridiculous. And luckily I'm married to this great guy who went out and purchased me clothes that were bigger. Thank God for him. But it wasn't until I had surgery after I realized that the body that was gaining weight, it was because I had a medical condition that I didn't know about. And that's when I realized how important it is for me to be gentle with my body. So let's talk about a couple things that can happen in order to go from lack to abundance in our life. One, get really clear on what it is you really want. You see, you complain about that job, but I know here, what was it, last year when we had a furlough? When there was a furlough, everybody complained about, I don't have a job, I'm not getting a paycheck, but half of those people complained about that job in the first place. I didn't even know you wanted to be there. I didn't even know you were happy to be there because you always complained about it. How would I know you like that job? You like the paycheck though. But instead of finding another thing, we just release all the toxic energy at work. So that's one thing. We complain about our children, but what good things are we saying? Are we speaking negatively and nasty to them all the time? Or do we uplift them and are encouraging consistently to them? Are we speaking positively to our husbands or wives when we are in those relationships and in those things? But we keep speaking of all the things that are wrong with us. What's wrong with our body? I had to come to a place where I realized that I had to focus on the abundance in my life, and for you as well. If you want something to shift in your life, listen to the conversations that you're having out loud and to yourself about yourself and other things around you or people around you. How often do you complain? And I get it. Oh, I'm just explaining. Many times when you're explaining, you're complaining. And if whatever you're saying leaves people like, it's not good, and they need to know about themselves, it's not your job to tell somebody else about themselves. That's God's responsibility. That's their time to come to that level of understanding. And as a parent, I get it. You know, we need the guidance and all those things, but we really should dig into ourselves. How are we presenting ourselves? And I'm going to say this, step on a couple toes. If there is lack in any area of your life, it's a matter of finding gratitude and abundance to shift that. If you have an illness that maybe is a permanent illness, I know plenty of people who, we've seen the studies and research on how gratitude has shifted that. Maybe it didn't take away the disease or the problem, but it definitely shifted their course of life. We've seen people who have no legs or arms who have gone on to accomplish greater things than people who have all of their body parts. So it's a mind game. And it's about gratitude. Get in an attitude of gratitude. Find the abundance. Find the wealth of abundance in your life. And I promise you, there is buried every treasure in abundance and gratitude. Every treasure that your heart desires is sitting right there. From my family to yours, I love you guys. Let's get to work. It's not the lack. It's the abundance that we're not focusing on. Take your energy off of the lack and get on into the business of abundance and gratitude. From my family to yours, I love you guys. I wish you all the best and go get it. Ciao.